The Concert Queen connects. Okay. My next guest. It's a really big deal. I've been trying to plan out this intro. I don't even know the words to begin my love for this person, but also, I mean, he literally is the wizard behind the curtains. Normally, he's sitting in the seat over there. He is a producer of the Concert Queen Connect. He is a photographer that has shot all over. He is a videographer. So you've probably seen him, again, at different shows and all over the place. He's also a closet DJ. I don't know if people know that about him. He's Leon's uncle and one of my best friends and my roommate. Meet Steve Souza.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
AKA the Souz.
What's up? This is the inaugural
I know this is
first podcast.
It's so cool to actually like
duo.
see you here. What does it feel like being sitting there versus like over there?
Oh, I was just telling you, it feels weird not being able to like monitor everything and like makes me nervous that something's gonna mess up and I'm not gonna notice, but it is what it is.
It's so cool.
No, it's exciting.
It's exciting to finally, because we kind of started this, and we always talk about this, but you're the one who really was like, hey, you should do a podcast. And something that I don't think people really see about you is that you really enable your friends to kind of live their best lives or do the best. You're always trying to find these angles and these ways for people to be their best self. And so thank you, obviously, I would not have any of this, do any of this if it weren't for you.
You would have eventually, somebody else would have said something, you would have eventually gotten to it.
No, I feel like you know me well enough to know like it takes a lot. It takes a lot to kind of get me in a groove. But with you, I don't think I've ever seen anybody work as hard as you.
Just don't
and
sleep.
people don't see that. Yeah, you don't sleep. Like people don't understand. And I think we're both kind of, that like enables my, like for me to be a workaholic sometimes. And I finally had to like, okay, I can't stay awake, or I have to like, there has to be some balance, but like you are like 24/7.
23/7.
23/7.
Yeah.
And like, you're also known as this like Snooza because you can sleep. Like, I don't think anyone knows that.
Through anything. Yeah.
So when you first moved in I guess I'll take it back to like, well, let's take it back to like how you even got to Austin. Like, what year did you move here? How did you like, was this a place you always wanted to end up, or was that like?
I'm going to be the first person to do this because now I understand how.
Really?
Not uncomfortable, but I don't know. Me knowing how much better it's going to sound if the microphone's right here.
Really?
Also, I just feel more comfortable leaning back.
Oh my God.
We need those longer stands.
See, you're going to like learn all this and we're going to have all these different things.
I'll
Okay,
be like,
so yeah.
Pink Star was last week. I like this.
Pink Star. Oh man, she
was
crushed
great.
it today. I'm excited to show that one, but like, yeah, but let's take it back. I want to definitely talk about like how
coming to Austin.
Yeah, how'd you end up in Austin?
Well, so a now ex-girlfriend was like the catalyst for coming out here. She went to UT and we dated in college. So like I visited.
And where'd you go
her.
to college?
University of Rhode Island.
Right.
Grew up in Rhode Island.
I know all this stuff. I'm just letting you guys know because there's all the background. It all comes full circle.
Grew up in Rhode Island my entire life and then never lived anywhere else. Grew up on an island in Rhode Island called Aquidneck Island.
The Quinnick?
Aquidneck. It's like a Native American, like Chesapeake but like there's all those like.
I didn't know that.
Aquidneck Island.
See, I learn something new every day. Aquidneck.
Yep. It's roughly, I'm pretty sure it's the same size as like Manhattan Island, but obviously not Manhattan, right? But
is that what you like? If I was gonna mail you something while you're there, would I put Aquidneck?
No, well, there's 3 towns on Aquidneck Island.
Okay.
So I'm from Portsmouth, which is like half of the island, and then there's Middletown, obviously in the middle, and then Newport.
Got it.
Which is like the most famous of the, nobody knows. I usually tell people I'm from Newport when I'm out here, just because they're gonna know any place in Rhode Island, it's Newport, not Portsmouth. But yeah, so I'm from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, born and raised there. I wasn't born on the island, but yeah. And then so dated this girl in college and she went to UT. We were like did the long distance thing, and then
Wait, how did y'all meet? Like that's
we went to
such
high school together.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
So we went to high school together. We had like a couple summer flings or whatever, and then eventually made it serious. But that meant we had to do long distance. But that was fine. But that meant I would like come out and visit her, and it was like I fell in love with Austin. It was great. And then when she was like, we both graduated, and she was like, I want to move back to Austin, which made me, at first I was like, I don't know, but I started thinking about it. So if it wasn't for her, I definitely wouldn't be here. I might still be in Rhode Island. I might be someplace else, but who knows? But yeah, so moved out here like 3 years ago. What is that? Like 2017, 2000. Yeah.
So had you already started like photography and videography and all that as well?
Yeah, but not like barely. So maybe if we go back to like 2000 and maybe like 2014, I got like a GoPro, right? And I started taking videos of like just me and my friends, like in the summertime, doing like fun, stupid teenager shit, and would like make these cool videos. And that's how I started to like get into this whole like photo video thing. And then I eventually got a camera, and like not like a DSLR camera. And through I owned a company with a couple other of my buddies called 401 Only, which was like a blog, like very like Barstool vibes, right? Like we had like college kids writing articles for us for like all the colleges in Rhode Island. We sold like t-shirts and all that stuff. And so through that, I was able to get like photo passes and media passes, and very much like you, I was just like, whoa, I can get free tickets to shows.
See why we get along.
Yep. So that was like the whole start of me getting into music, was me having this way and this access to get like photo passes. But then what would happen is like I'd reach out for these photo passes, and then obviously like the people who I reached out for wanted the photos. So then I started like at first I think I borrowed a buddy's camera, and then I got my own, and then I started really like, was like, wow, this would be like, this is dope. At that point, I never thought of it as like something I could potentially do as a career.
Yeah.
But then but besides that, it was just all like fun. Like I would take pictures of my buddies. We would go sailing and like on the water, beach, all that stuff. And it was just for fun. Then when I moved out here, I started just meeting certain people. I really still didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I guess met the right people, right? Do you know I told you the Ethan story? Yeah. Ethan,
shout out Ethan. Yep. Roya Music.
He's very much another catalyst for like just me having like the opportunities to like do all this stuff. So, which is a crazy story. So he went to school out in Boston for a little while. He had a short stint out there on the East Coast.
That. Okay.
Yep. And while I was still dating this girl, he had like, she went back to Rhode Island to visit family. And then on her way back, she's texting me and telling me, hey, like I'm sitting next to this dude who's in a band. He's in Austin. Like that'd be so cool if you could shoot for him. And then meanwhile, I'm like, who's this asshole?
Who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah, who's this asshole hitting on my girlfriend, like sitting next to her on the plane?
Band,
yeah, exactly, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever, sure. And then she's like, oh, he's also a DJ. And he gets back and he actually reaches out to me. And he has a show. He's DJing at Plush, RIP. I know. So he's DJing at Plush. And then that was, I think, that was like my very first like shooting like for like a DJ
at
or
Plush
something in Austin ever.
Wow.
Because
I want to see some. You're gonna have to show some of these.
There's still pictures out. They're on my Instagram. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Yep. If you go back far enough, yeah.
Okay.
And so took pictures of him there, and then maybe a few weeks later, or maybe a month, he connected me with like a couple other like this group of people who has now become like a lot of my friends, and started shooting all these shows. And so if it wasn't for that like random encounter with my like ex-girlfriend and Ethan on this like I just
such a random flight too.
I always think about like, imagine if they just like Like
Didn't
I
talk.
can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember if they were sitting next to each other on the plane or were just talking in like the terminal or whatever. But like, just imagine if like one of them was like 5 minutes late or like sat in a different seat or like that shit blows my mind. Yeah. Like I wouldn't be sitting here with you if it wasn't for like that one thing.
Cause that's fate. I feel like, yeah, there's things like that. Well, even like last week when we were sitting at the tequila thing and Jen and Zeely like would not have been together,
right.
had Kaylee, like our friend, we did this music video and Kaylee was like bailed and was like, I can't do it. And Jen texted her, hey, can you jump in this music video? And there she was, and now they're together.
Crazy how that shit happens.
And like had Kaylee, it's just, I don't know. I feel like the universe works. Do you believe in that? I mean, you kind of have to now.
To a certain extent, yeah, for sure. To a certain extent. I think I think it's more like shit like that you can never anticipate, and you can never, like when that was all happening, like I wasn't thinking, or like these are gonna be all my friends in Austin, or like all no, not even close. But also like if I didn't take that opportunity and run with it, I still wouldn't be sitting here too. So it's like I think to a certain extent, yeah. But it's also just like if you don't take action and make shit happen and work hard for it, then So
then you started shooting, and I'm trying to remember because you started shooting shows, and I think. I'm trying to think do you remember the moment when we met? I'm trying to remember.
No, I don't remember a specific moment. Yeah. I think it was, I don't remember a specific moment. Because you were shooting for different
people. Like, it's not like you were shooting just for one person. You were like shooting different shows. And that's why I was like, okay, I see the same guy that's like shooting and all. It's kind of like I met Paul. Like, we ended up at all the same parties. But like with you, I feel like I just kept seeing you at the same different, like we had the same taste in music. We'd go to the same shows and we'd be going to like multiple shows. So it was like, hey, are you going to this show? Are you going to this show?
Yep.
You're like, yeah. So I don't even know how like that connection. I think it was through like Vibe Vessel and then Real Music and then all the other, like you said, just random things that you started shooting.
Yeah. Definitely just like seeing each other out often. And then, that's the other thing. It's weird because I have a lot of friendships with people just like, I'm taking their photos so often, and usually they end up like DMing me because like, hey, can I get that photo? And then I take like a month to send it to them or something, and they have to bug me all the time. But that's like shit like that, how like relationships get started and just randomly, whatever. But it, sometimes it works out where, those end up being like some of the best relationships you have. Right.
Yeah. And then I trapped him.
Yeah. And that's how we got to this point right now.
Everyone always asks.
You tell that story.
I will. Because I just think it's funny because everybody always asks. And before you, I had 2 different roommates in this house. And I get it. Like people are like, oh, like why do you have a roommate? I love having roommates. I just think for me mentally, personally, like I've lived alone I've done that whole thing and it's fine. I just realized more like mentally, it's just healthier for me to have someone around.
Yeah.
And then just someone too. Like I got Leon and then, the previous roommates I had besides the first guy, like, I didn't necessarily, like I said, need one. It was just nice to have. He was living out of his car. He wasn't homeless. He just like lived in his camper van. And I was like, hey, like it's the winter time and you can't do that. This is in California. So he like started living with me. And then I had this girl who was like a crazy psycho. Awful.
How do I stack up?
I mean, she just real quick side note. This was the weekend that she moved out. Did I tell you the story?
Maybe.
With Sarah?
Maybe, I don't know. Keep going. I'll tell you.
So Sarah remembers the story of Sarah Landry. So I was a super respectful roommate. I texted my roommate and I told her, and keep in mind, this is a girl that like moved here from Colorado and she came in like right at the pandemic, like February, March, like February 28th was her move-in date. Pandemic hit second week. So like, this is a girl that just like, I found on like roommates.com, didn't know her. She didn't know me. And I told her, I was like, listen, I'm barely home. I'm out and about. Now we're stuck together, like in this house, not knowing each other. And I was trying to be like,
I thought she lived here longer, so she really didn't last long here. No, yeah.
No.
I heard stories, but continue the story.
So the weekend that she decided to move out, I had warned her, like, hey, I'm about to have, because we were already having like little, I don't know, not necessarily like fit riffs, but just like weird things that she would do. She's kind of just an odd bird. She was odd. So then, but again, that's what you get when you meet someone on the internet and you don't know them in real life.
It's an amazing place.
It's weird how that works. So she, the weekend, so Sarah, basically, that was when I was like going to all her shows at like CPD. And so she had a show and we wanted to watch it and just like hang out, do mushrooms, watch her set. Techno, Sarah, like techno.
Not just techno,
but it was like, it's not just techno. It's like, fuck your
Sarah
face.
Landry techno.
Fuck your face techno. Pound Town, take you to Pound Town.
Yep. Get throw fucked. Yeah.
So she literally, I told my roommate, I was like, hey, I just want to give you a heads up. Like, my friend's coming over. We're going to watch a set. We're going to order food. We're going to hang out. It was like the only time I'd ever done this. And because she was supposed to be going out of town. So I was like, hey, roommate, but she was like, hey, I'm not going out of town. I was like, well, hey, this is what's happening.
Yeah. Gave
her the times. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to be in my room. I'm not going to like leave. I was like, that's fine. I'm just warning you. So we start watching Sarah's set. And within like the first, I'd say 25 minutes, she like storms out, slams the door, like sends me a text like, oh my God, that music. But this is
that probably makes Sarah so happy.
It did.
Yeah.
She was like, cast out the demons.
Yep. On so many different levels. Yeah.
Sarah was like, cast out the demons. Like, you don't need that energy. And we like watched her set. And long story short, that obviously was not going to work.
Yeah.
So then I had an empty room. And then Steve was like moving out of his place. I don't think I initially had it in my head until like you were like, hey, I'm going to be moving out. And I was like, well, hey, I have this whole like house and garage. Like, why don't you just leave your stuff here?
I was like, I think whether it was venting or just like had normal conversation, I had brought up the fact that like, because it was this exact same time of year. So every year I go back to Rhode Island in July, right? And that was like the time that I was moving out of this place.
Yeah, March.
Yep, exactly.
Ooh,
yeah.
4 months, yeah.
So I was going to be gone for like 3 weeks and I needed to have my stuff moved out of this place like while I was in Rhode Island. So my only option was like doing it before I left. Which means, and at that point, just me being super huge procrastinator, I still didn't have a place. And so I was just like frantically trying to figure stuff out. And I needed like a place to stay or leave my stuff, right? Yeah. And then you offered up, you were like, just throw it all in my garage, like we could leave your car here, like all that. And then while I'm out there in Rhode Island, was like, like, there's an extra room, like, because I was probably texting you, like, I can't find a place. Or like,
like, till you find a place.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy Nate about like getting a spot with him. But it just, after you started bringing it up, it was like, all right, that could like actually work. It kind of starts like make sense. And then, and then now the three of us are here, me, you, and Leon.
Did you want to say
this
hi?
is Leon's first appearance.
Time he's ever been out. He's normally like locked up in the room, but we're like, hey, it's us.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't even really think about it until you were gone. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Exactly. I was like, I have an idea. And I was like, why don't you just live here? It's like we have the same taste in music. We have the same lifestyle. Like, you can come and go as you please. You can do whatever you want. It's just
Trap
easy.
me.
Trap.
So yeah, but it worked out. Here we are today.
Yeah. The podcast. Nominated Best Podcast in Austin. Shout that out. So,
pretty cool.
Did that surprise you that happened? Or were you kind of like, that we were like nominated for that?
No. It surprised me that we didn't win.
Did it?
Yeah. 100%.
You're so like stoic. So I never know. Like that's another thing about you is because you're always like, when you're behind the camera too. And we were just talking about this like with Roger Ho. Because I saw Roger Ho this weekend. And he's, without a camera. And he was just like super talkative. And I was like, oh my God. Every time I see him, he's at a show and he's usually shooting.
Yeah.
And we forget, people like me and all the other people forget, like, you're working.
Yeah.
Because you're literally running around.
Well, I don't know about Roger, but that like, and probably for a lot of like people, photographers, videographers in the live music like world, like that's my social life, right? Like if I'm not at a show,
you consider it like that's your social life?
That's, look at all my friends. It's all people I met at shows, right? It's like if I don't, and you see, if I'm not at a show working, I'm in my room, like in the cave, just like editing and
It's
like
a cave.
Yeah, it's a dungeon, if you will.
Okay, but tell people why it's a dungeon. Like I've tried to get you to like open up the blinds, but you can't because then there's a reflection.
Well, yeah, it's just the way that the light shines, the way where my desk is and where the monitor is like facing the window. So if I open up the blinds, then sunlight gets in and it makes it glare on the screen.
But you have like this Star Trek desk that's like.
Yeah, but the thing with the glare on the screen is you can't see like colors accurately. So if you're editing photos or videos and something's like looks one way, but then you export it and then it looks a different way on the screen, it's because it wasn't like accurate, right? So that's why it's just like blind shut all the time. If the desk was facing a different area, like the proper way, I should have the desk like in front of the window or like, so it's,
I could see that.
But yeah, so there's a way to do it. It doesn't have to be a dungeon, but that's just the way it's set up.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with it. I like my dungeon.
If you like your dungeon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we do like, I just do like little wellness checks sometimes. That's why I knock on your door sometimes. It's not like, it's just to check on you.
Yeah.
Just to
No,
be like,
I'm
hey,
alive. Yeah.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little poke.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, how's it going? That was me, Leon. Sorry, y'all. But so everything with events and things like coming back, you've been probably like busier now more than ever.
Yeah. Well, I just quit my job too.
Like officially quit.
Mm-hmm.
No more. No mas.
No more. I worked for and it was, done. I was sick of it. But I also planned on doing this last year, as you know. So it was like, it was lucky the way it worked out for me because I had all my like, it literally maybe a year, like 13, 14, 15 months ago, it was March as COVID was like hitting and I wasn't taking it seriously and neither were a lot of other people. So I thought it was just going to pass. I had like 2 weeks planned out in Miami for Ultra Music or Miami Music Week and everything. I had like the rest of my paid time off with like planned for those 2 weeks. And then when I got back from that, I was going to like put in my 2 weeks and quit because I was like, had the rest of the year lined up with enough stuff that I was like, all right, I'm comfortable enough to like finally go all in on this. Right. And then COVID hit. And then, so I'm very like thankful that I didn't quit literally like 3 weeks earlier. Right. Yeah. So, because then I would have been shit out of luck, no job, like nothing. So very lucky for that. So, but for the past year, it's just been like miserable because it's like, that's not something I want to do for the rest of my life. Like it's just, it wasn't fun for me. I was lucky to have that job and have that income and all the perks that comes with working for a company like Facebook, right? Yeah. Like it's great, but I was still miserable. It's like, I wanted to be doing this, right? So what was the turning point for you where you were like, this is what I want to do like full time when you like had that opportunity? Sometime within like I said, when I moved out here, I still didn't know that I wanted to do that like full time. But then I started shooting all these shows and started getting like really good feedback. And it was like, wow, I really enjoyed doing this. I love music. Like I love like doing this. And then I started getting really into it, started doing videos and all that stuff. And so that's when I started to realize, and then I started to like consistently make money from it. Not enough money to like support myself, but enough to the point where it started getting in my head like, okay, like maybe this could be a thing, right? Right. And so that's kind of when it started. I don't know exactly when, but I didn't have like that thought when I came out here at all. It was definitely like, that would be, I had gotten enough into the photography thing where it would be like, yeah, that would be cool. It's like live music capital of the, it's just literally, like, yeah. So that was like, I was thinking that, but I was never thinking like that's going to be my career, Yeah. But then, I started to realize like this could be a thing. And then, so now I'm like very grateful for all the people who have like supported me and everything. Now I'm able to like actually just go all in on this. And it's like, it's crazy. It's like makes me nervous, right? But it's also like finally like freeing, right? You know, so it's like,
Is that how you feel now?
yeah, for sure.
Have you had a chance to kind of like process that?
No.
Because I feel like you.
Not at all. When would I process
go,
that?
go. Like right now, even as you're saying it, I don't think. That's why I was like, have you had a chance? Because that's to leave. I remember when I had that, like when I left my pharma job.
Yeah.
And I remember that first Monday, like after my pharma job, and I woke up, I was like,
yeah, you're like, holy
you're like,
shit.
I feel like I should be doing, like, I need to be somewhere. Like you just feel like that 8 to 5.
I feel that for sure.
That 8 to 5, like I'm supposed to be somewhere. I'm supposed to be up. I'm supposed to be like, feels weird on like a Tuesday to like go
just
do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And like, or if I want to like not have to be somewhere the next day, like it's untraining your mind when you've been like in the corporate world for so long.
Yeah. But so the past year at has been me for the most part working at home. Whether or not they knew I was at home, that's a different story. But yeah, so very much so, like especially the last 6 months, it's been me at home for the most part. So it was kind of like a gradual like ease into it anyways, because if it was like, if I was still working in the office atmosphere and then just all of a sudden I didn't have to go into the office anymore, like, yeah, that would be a little bit more of like a shock, right? But I feel like I eased into it a little more, but no, I mean, I still haven't processed it. Maybe the next few weeks when I'm back in Rhode Island, maybe a little bit, but I don't know.
Maybe getting out. I think probably getting out of Austin. That's always good, especially to go home.
Yeah.
Do you need more? We have it. Did you put?
Yeah, put it under the table.
There's the lemon. The lemon's good. I have your pink one over there too. Shout out Deep Betty. Thank you, Deep Betty, for all the. Yes. Do you want some? I haven't drank out of it.
Straight, baby.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do you want more ice?
That's how good.
Do you want more ice?
No, it's still cold enough. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Do
you want to get a couple more ice cubes?
Do you want me to get ice?
I feel like you should. I'm about to refill too. Okay. Can I have that lemon, please? It is really good. I just mixed it with soda and it's like, yeah, so good.
You know what's the ruby? I think it is.
Yeah, the ruby one's right there.
Drink that straight. I can drink this straight.
You know, the most drunk that I ever got was not on Deep Betty. Was on raspberry Smirnoff vodka in college.
Do you have like a taste aversion now? You can't do that?
I cannot drink that. I was drinking it straight out of the bottle. You sure you don't want any of that? I was drinking it straight out of the bottle. So I'm gonna hold that. And it was my senior year in college. It was the last day we were going out, and I was wearing this skin tight black dress with no underwear. Whole school was there.
That's a small school too.
Yeah, went to a really small school.
Yeah.
So I'd say like there's at least 1,000 people at this bar. That's probably like for 200 people.
That's the whole school right there.
It's literally the whole school. Yeah. I was chugging this raspberry Smirnoff vodka. My teammate and I were there. I was with like people that like people had already gone home. So this was like the last night. Everybody was literally going home the next day. Freshman year. Lit. Freshman year was probably my most lit year. Hands down.
Makes sense.
I had no chill. And I just remember I was drinking the raspberry Smirnoff vodka. Then I kind of black out. Old Shell Inn. And I'm with my teammate. I'm trying to walk down these stairs and it's like everyone's like it's like 2:15. The whole bar. There's literally like 1,000 people. Maybe I'm probably over exaggerating. I don't know.
It's a lot of people, yeah.
A lot of people. And I fall down the stairs. It's like 3 or 4 steps.
Okay.
Wooden steps. Fall down the steps. My friend's boyfriend comes, runs. He's drunk, tries to pick me up, picks me up like freaking like an ice skater, and whoosh.
Coochie out.
Coochie's out, and literally he's holding me like a drunk guy, just holding me.
He's trying to help. Good intentions. To help, but
I'm like. And literally out. Yeah. In front of everyone. In front of the whole school. Just parading me around.
Also a Catholic college, university. Yeah.
You remember? Yeah. Just literally, when my friends finally realized, oh, shit, she's not wearing underwear. Mm-hmm. Put me down.
Yeah.
And then they put me in the trunk and took me home.
Well, I don't have a story about getting put in the trunk after not wearing underwear. But I think everybody has those, like I can't do, my thing is UV cake or like UV blue.
What's that?
It's just like a terrible, cheap Burnett's level, like
What's
shitty.
Burnett's? Is this a Rhode Island thing?
Burnett's? Maybe now that I think of it, I don't know. We call it Bernasties. But it's just like you buy like a bottle, like any other bottle. I don't know, 750 milliliters, whatever. Like the normal bottle, it's like half the price of whatever. But same thing with
vodka?
like, yeah, it's vodka. Yeah, but it's the same thing as like
Taka?
You see, I don't know what that is.
Taka?
Yeah.
Taka vodka?
No.
It's like the cheap well.
Yeah. So maybe it is a regional thing.
Okay.
But UV is definitely not a regional thing, I don't think. But they make like these, like they have UV cake, which tastes like cake, right? And I think it was maybe like sophomore
like
year.
A vanilla.
Yeah. And David, you know David Hickey? He came out here to visit.
Yeah.
David, yep. It was in his dorm room. They're the weird dorm rooms at URI. He got lucky where he had like a 2-story dorm room. It was weird. It's like there's only a few of them, and he was just like so happened to get lucky. And it has like a spiral staircase. Like it's like the dopest thing, right? Especially if you're the only kid who has that as like a freshman or sophomore. And the last thing I remember is just taking shots with my buddy Pat Spiro, like of this UV cake, and now I'm pretty sure he can't drink it either.
Oh my god!
It's just that like taste aversion thing.
I can't drink
or like blue drink. One of the first times, like when I came out to visit my girlfriend, like when we were dating and stuff, and while we were doing the long distance thing, and we're both seniors in college and everything. I forget the name of the bar on 6th Street has this like blue drink. That just like it's you.
I want to find this name. Is it like the aquarium or something? That sounds like a place that would have a blue drink.
I could think. I'll think of it in a minute. But it's like one of those drinks where it's just like
they don't even tell you what's in it.
And you don't want to know. But then you see them pouring it all in there, and they're like putting all this shit, and you're like, wow, I'm fucked.
Like the Dr. Pepper of liquors.
Yeah,
remember when you used to like put all the different
every
sodas?
single thing. Yeah, so I can't do anything, and so that's the weirdest one because the UV cake one is like that's a specific flavor, but now it's just blue. Anything like blue in general. Hypnotic was the first alcohol I ever drank. First alcohol. So another. So you know Ryan.
I didn't know you had so like.
Yeah, shout out McPiffy, shout out McPee Poo Poo Pants.
These are Instagram names.
Yeah.
McPee Poo Poo Pants is.
That's his meme page.
I was like, who is this person that just followed me?
Yeah.
And I screenshot it. I was like, they follow the Souz. He's like, that's my friend. I was like, oh, McPee.
Literally like best friend. And
shout out McPee Poo Poo
Pants. So his house. Also shout out his mom PJ is like literally like second mother to me. She is like, so he had his mom's house in Newport was like this dope like house. It was called Stunna Island.
Stunna Island,
yeah. And that was basically his mom worked for like the Red Sox, right? So it's about like an hour and a half drive from Newport in Rhode Island up to Boston at Fenway, right? So we would obviously know when she was going to be gone because we have the Red Sox schedule, right? God. And so she was like the restaurant manager, and like I worked for her as like a bartender. She was like bar manager and everything, but not at Fenway, different place, Mudville, RIP in Newport. But yeah, so we would just know when she was going to be gone. So like Stunna Island was like a cool like place to like have parties in high school and college and everything. It was one of these nights where we were just like partying, and this was probably like sophomore year of high school maybe, right? Like
so you were getting lit like in high school like that?
Yeah. And so
when did you first start drinking? That
night. With
really?
The Hypnotic, yeah. And
you didn't see, we did like Smirnoff Ice, and did y'all have, we did like Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, we had Smirnoff Ice, but like we weren't drinking that. Like we were, so we stole that from Ryan's mom, like the bottle of Hypnotic. And I remember it's like one of those things where you're like, you're drinking, but I maybe had like one cup, right? But I'm a sophomore in high school, and also it's with a bunch of friends. And so like, it's definitely, you're like definitely acted more drunk than you were, but also you had never drank before either. So it's like 1 cup probably did get you a little lit, right?
So you were trying to act like.
No, I don't
Well,
think
no. It's not
anybody
just
was
you.
trying to
no,
act.
but it's like.
But you've never felt that feeling before, right?
Right.
So like
well, at least you
getting
knew.
tipsy is like getting lit for the first time ever, right? Like I had.
No, you're totally right.
So I didn't smoke weed until like college, senior year of high school, actually.
Mine was senior year of college.
But all my friends were smoking since like that time too.
Got
like sophomore, junior year of high school.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like the one of my like in my group of friends who was just like, nah, I'm good, right? And
Same.
eventually like I came around. But
Same.
yeah, so that was the first like, I guess like I'd never smoked before, I'd never like drank before. So yeah,
You're like, I'm just gonna knock it all out.
But
on
it was
one night.
hypnotic. No, I didn't smoke that night.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's how we got on this Hypnotic that was in Stunna Island that we stole from PJ. And it's so funny like going back because I'm like I'll text PJ now, but it's like at the time we thought we were being so sneaky, and it's like we've had the conversations like, yeah, you fucking idiots. Like, I know you stole that from me. Like, I know, like, what do you think? I'm just like not going to notice like the bottle, like just, and so like she's funny, but it's funny when you're at that age, you're like, yeah, we'll just fill it back up with a little water.
Oh
or
my
like,
God. You think you're being so
classic.
sneaky.
So sneaky.
I did the same thing with my cousin and I took wine coolers. I remember like we ran like during Christmas party and we like ran to the bathroom and like chugged. We like didn't even chug it. We were like drank like half of it and we're like, oh my God, do you feel it? I feel it.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. When you like your buddy, like you've had 2 sips and your friend says they feel it, so you're like, yeah, me too.
I totally
I'm wasted.
feel it too. Oh my God,
I'm so fucked up.
I have a real funny short story. My friends and I I was in college, was maybe like 22, and I was back visiting my friends, and we had like a party, same kind of thing. Her parents are out of town, and she had her like 18-year-old high school younger brother or younger sister had like friends over.
Yeah.
We were feeding them like TGI Fridays mudslide mixer,
which have like no alcohol in them, but
1,000 calories.
Yeah, also that.
But like, so we were feeding them these mixers. They were literally like I remember the guy was like hanging out, like chugging the mixer, thinking he was
get
like
wasted.
We're like, all you're doing is just, but yeah, stuff like that, because you don't know, like when you're that age, and
Yeah. Like,
like
in my family, once you're 18, you're like in your family like area, like 4th of July, all that shit, you're good to drink. But because it's like you get fucked up, whatever, you pass out and you're there. Like they rather you be there than in some random person's house passed out. Who knows what happens? Nobody's there to care for you, whatever.
Yeah.
But so we used to do this thing because, again, going back to the fact that we all thought we were sneaky and whatever in high school. Me and my buddy Woj, who you've met.
Mm-hmm. When are they coming back to visit?
Woj is moving out here in December or January.
Well,
so,
tell him to hurry up. Now that things are open, he needs to come back and come.
Yeah.
Woj, come back and visit.
Come back.
Okay.
So
I took them to. I dropped them off on Rainy Street.
Yeah.
And I gave them like
him and Shane or him and Dave, because Woj just visited twice. One time with David Hickey, who I mentioned earlier, and they stayed here. And
who were the 2 ones that stayed here?
The other
that
time
was Woj
with
and
Shane,
Dave.
Yeah, when they got an Airbnb for like the month. And
it was when your friends were here. I feel like I was a really good host.
You're great, yeah.
To your friends.
Yeah,
I loved your friends, and I was like, if I had friends here, I know Steve would do the same thing.
Yeah, those are my best friends.
And I literally took them. I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna tell you exactly.
Good.
I took them to Rainy, and it was like, start here. A lot of hot chicks here. Start here, then go here, and then go here, and then end up at.
They probably didn't talk to a single one either.
Really?
Maybe they did. I don't know. I'm just giving.
Who has the most game out of all your friends?
Not me. Definitely not me.
But you like don't. Okay, here's the deal. You don't realize like when you're getting hit on.
No, I don't. We've talked about this.
I know, but
I'm
they don't know about this.
so oblivious.
So yeah, okay.
So oblivious.
Steve is so oblivious to when he's getting hit on.
It's a problem.
Like you get hit on, and I witnessed it. Like I figured it. I like assumed it because like you got swagger, okay. See, and he's humble, but you have swagger.
No, I'm not humble. I just know I'm awkward as fuck. And it like you see it from a distance, you're like, oh yeah, whatever. But it's like if you would just hear that conversation, you'd be like, you'd cringe.
No, literally. Okay, sorry to.
No names.
There's no names. There's no names. There's no names. Your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like my love language is like showing people experience it. I think you know this, like taking people to things. Like I'm not like a gifts person. I may not tell you all the time. Like
a what person?
Like a gifts person.
Gift or gift?
Gifts.
Okay, I thought because I thought.
Let's not. I can't say gifts, whatever. Gifts. I'm not like a gifts. Like my love language is literally like quality time.
Yeah.
And like that's my time that I over like writing something or all the other things.
Yeah.
So for my friends, it's like, hey, let me take you to this event with me, or let's go do something for someone. And like for you, I knew it was your birthday. Like that's what Lane 8.
Yeah.
Took him.
I know. I couldn't even stay the whole time. I was so bummed.
But that was like a gift. I had like an extra ticket, and I was like, come, like I know this would, again,
mean a lot. Yeah.
I know it would mean a lot to him. So for your birthday, I had the hookup with some friends with an amazing company called Red Bull. I can shout out Red Bull, right?
It's your podcast.
Red Bull, shout out Red Bull.
But just say, hey, Red Bull, no free shout outs, but we're shouting you out. Just know that. This could be you right here.
Ooh. He said it. I didn't, but
I know those lemons are hard to get. If you hook us up with a 4-pack of lemons.
It's so good. So we went to go see Diplo, which was amazing. Meanwhile, we get there and immediately this girl like zeroes in on Steve. I saw it. You did it. As a female, I was like, ooh, okay.
No, the worst part is I didn't even know it until like days later when you had brought it up.
I told you on the ride home.
Again, this was my birthday. You think I remember
sober.
that?
I was sober. I didn't drink at all. I don't know why I wasn't drinking. I think I don't even know.
You drove home.
I was just like,
home.
well, no, that was just like, hey, it's your birthday. I'm going to drive, be sober, drive us out there. Cause I didn't know it was like a 45-minute drive. So we go there and Steve, like this girl literally like marked him from the second she got we got there. She marked
even
you.
Then,
and I was like,
I don't see that.
Okay. She marked you. She was like, she literally
at the
like
mark.
the way
at the mark.
She marked you at the mark. The way Leon like pisses on bushes when I take him on walks.
He's like, that's my bush.
She was like, that's mine. She marked you at the mark.
See, I need like a bell or like
I would have assumed because she was not
off.
looking anywhere else. She was looking at you the whole time. She was trying to like find her way. Like she was like hanging out. Obviously, she's playing it cool. But like she had made it clear.
If you ever hit on me, you need to make it so obvious that it like you almost need to be like, bro, I'm hitting on you.
I'm hitting. No, she did everything but say, hey, bro, I'm hitting on you.
The one
because I noticed from the beginning. Because again, I was stone cold sober. I was like, hey, whoa, okay, this girl is like into Steve. I'm just gonna like let that ride out. And like I was just hanging out, having a good time. And like y'all were like dancing, and even someone who no names noticed and was like, "Whoa, what's going on over there? What's going on?" She's like, "Nothing," and they were friends. But
mind your own business.
And she was like, "This other person noticed was like, hey, what's going on there?" And
see, if I'm like.
It was obvious to everyone else.
Yeah, but maybe if I'm like really sober for that's my birthday, right? So I'm clearly like my main goal that night is just to get fucked up and have a great time, right? Yeah, it was. But so maybe if I'm like dead sober, but that's the other thing with me is like I feel like no matter what show I do, I'm taking a few shots before I go out. I'm drinking. Like,
why do you do that?
Because I need to loosen up.
Too. I noticed like shot glasses before you head out.
If I don't, I'm a very introverted person, and that goes back to what I said earlier. Like shooting shows is my social life, right? Like if I didn't like I love music, obviously, and if I did the most random, if my career was still with and I had no connection to shooting shows or whatever, I'd maybe do like one show a month. and somebody would have to like ask me to go out and be like, hey, we have tickets or whatever. I'd maybe, if somebody was like, we're going to this festival, do you want to come? I'd be like, yeah, sure. But no way in hell would like I be the person like putting myself out there. Like I'm happy like in my cave, in my dungeon by myself, like very like that's.
But
it stresses me the fuck out when I was telling somebody this the other day. It stresses me the fuck out when people like a lot of people are texting me or a lot of people are like whatever. Like I just want to be left the fuck alone a lot of times.
Texting you about what?
Whatever, doesn't matter. If I
is
see
it
like
is it like a person that texts you and like, oh, they stress me out too though, but it's because I don't have the mental capacity to handle it.
Not just one. Not saying
mine's just like an ADD thing. Like
maybe it's that, and not just like one person texting me a lot. I'm saying like if I wake up and I have like 5 people that I see have texted me when I've been sleeping because I was probably sleeping for like 48 hours. I'm like, I like just instantly turn off. Like really? I just like don't want to like I go back under the covers and like I don't want to like deal with any of it. And that's why
I look to see what's a priority and I'm like, okay, none of these are like...
Yeah, if you know me, you know that I will take maybe like at the very least 48 to 72 hours to get back to you.
Unless you live with him.
Yeah, I'm kind of...
I've even like established that boundary.
But even then...
I've had people text me that are like, hey, can you check? I'm like, nope. Not
even
doing that.
Then with you, like I've like if I don't like you
but
can
I don't take it personal.
Yeah, but you can hear the notification go off in my room and like, all right, he got that, and damn well he's not sleeping.
No, but you have like 5 or 10 different sounds. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, it's because
I don't know what sound is what. So in my defense,
yeah, that's the worst.
I literally have idea.
I put it on myself. I was telling Alexis, who's a dope photographer in Austin. Shout out, Alexis. No free shout outs. She was FaceTiming the other day because I was hungover and I was sleeping all day and I was in my bed. And
what day was this?
But this was Saturday. This is after. So Friday we did Justin Martin Friday.
Yeah.
And then that was the night I did the after party where I slept in my car because
But that was responsible of you.
That was because I don't drive drunk.
I didn't know. And so we have like a ring. Do you have your ring notifications turned?
No, I turn them off. Again, they stress me the fuck out.
Really?
Any notifications? Any notifications?
See, ring is the only thing. Like, I want to know who's at the front door.
Well, no, I get the notifications, but the sounds.
I like to know. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I went to sleep. I'm not that person. Like, don't call me at 3 a.m. because I'm probably not answering. Mm-hmm. Like, my phone is off. Same. Sorry. Like, I'm not that person. Like, I'm not gonna respond at 3 a.m. But like I wake up and I'm always like, and I look at the ring notifications, just be like, oh, like either I got home with it, you send me like fucked up pictures of myself on ring.
Yeah, I love it. That's fun. I saved. Look at this. I saved the. I'm gonna turn your camera on and off in a second, but I have a really fucking funny video that I saved to myself.
A video? Was I wasted?
No, this was me coming home. Not that night, but last night. So Saturday night after.
You came home at like 11 a.m. Oh, last night.
Yeah. No,
I didn't see. Were you wasted last night?
No. I did. I barely drank because I just went and like didn't really do anything at all. It's loading, but yeah. No, I went to an after party. And I was there till like 5 a.m.
Last night?
No,
this morning
after Justin Martin.
Oh, after Justin Martin.
After party, I went to the oven. And then I was just there until like 5. And then when I got back in my car, there literally like fate had it that like a cop drove by and I was like,
nope.
Oh, I have a breathalyzer too because
is that a Rhode Island thing too?
No. It's just me being a fucking alcoholic thing. I'm not an alcoholic.
You brought your breathalyzer to Dead Mouse. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's okay. It can be a fun game too. It's high score wins.
You were the only one in
high score wins
playing that game.
Yeah,
though.
I was fucked.
You were the only one playing.
That's the problem. If you're the only one playing that game, that's when it's not fun.
That was another.
It's fun for me, but it's not fun for anybody else.
It's another one else. Like I was driving that night, so I was stone cold sober.
Yeah.
Driving that night, but like, yeah, it was you, Kaylee, Garrett, and I remember you playing this game. you're like the breathalyzer, and I was like, I don't know anyone
You're like,
else
you're
playing
being
this
so
game.
fucking annoying.
I
Like,
didn't
just
say that.
Like, yeah, but I would think it, right? No, but this
No,
came
no, no. I wasn't thinking that at all. Like, that's the thing. I never, because I've been there. I've been that person a million times. I never think anyone's annoying. I just want to be that mom. I'm a mama bear by nature. Like, I am never one to judge someone in that state. The only time that I'll ever like check someone is if they start getting physical. I'm like, nope, not doing that.
So the breathalyzer came about because last year,
that's smart though.
No, it was
to have that.
And this is bad. It was either last year or no, it was 2 years ago. Wow, this is crazy. So it was 2 years ago when me and the girl who I moved out here with had like broken up, and it was right before, again, every July I go back to Rhode Island. So it was right at that time where I went back to Rhode Island. So I just dealt with this breakup. And I went back to Rhode Island. So when I was in Rhode Island, seeing all my family and seeing, I was just on like a 2-3 week bender. Like I was wasted the entire
as long as you
time.
guys were together, like, right? That's understandable.
But yeah, we were together for a long time. Yeah. But I mean, still, but
bender, so that's normal.
So my dad saw all that. So when I got back to Austin, there was a package waiting for me, and it was a breathalyzer, and it was from my dad, and he was like, "Hey, take care of yourself." Because he had seen, and again, like this is like basically the one besides July, like I maybe go back in for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, but that's like when I see my family and friends. So this was like his only like, he was like, wow, is my son turning into like, does he have like an issue, right? And
what did you think? Were you
no, I was like, that was me like fucking letting loose, right? Like I know I don't have a problem. I have no addiction issues. I have like whatever.
No, Leon's got yours.
Oh, Leon, buddy. I'm sorry.
I would grab those because he's.
I'll put them back on. But yeah, so I have no like issues with that, right? And I know myself.
No, you definitely don't. Like, I live with you, and I can say that you don't.
So I know myself with that, but at the same time, if you're my dad and that's the 3 weeks that you see me, I'm like coming home blacked out every single night, or like not coming home at all. And then, you know, it's just like, what are you going to think? So he's just looking out for me. So that's why I have the breathalyzer, by the way. That's the only reason why I have it. I think he's trying to eat food that's still in the carpet.
He's hungry, poor thing.
But yeah, it's not downloading. But I was like, I forgot what this video was, but I just remember it was funny, and so I went back and I saved it because it was funny. And that was coming home from Carnage the other night, so I wasn't like wasted or anything.
What did you think about Carnage?
You mean Gordo?
I personally,
you know what? I will give it to him because
he crushed it, right? So, I'm sure he did. That was the one show.
I don't say he crushed it, but he did not disappoint. Like he exceeded expectations, right? And the biggest thing I'll say, he didn't go on the microphone one single fucking time.
Is he known for doing that? Like you said that because I DM'd you and I was like, it's just, does he do that? Or
I'm not saying he's known for that, but if you think of any like big room DJ like that, who's used to, most people know, playing huge festivals, you're gonna expect the 3, 2, 1, go. You know, like all that shit. Yeah. And
like someone named that name rhymes with gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah. Right? But that's their vibe, and the people like that. Not to hate on them for that, and I don't, but that's like what they're used to. But house music DJs like that, you don't do that. Like techno, you don't do that. Like tech house, all that shit, you don't do that.
I watched him at Devil May Care, and he never did that once. He never was like Devil May Care.
Yeah.
What?
Yep, exactly. And
he curated a vibe.
And he played actual house music too. So that's what I'm saying. Like the night I had way more. Sorry, Gordo. I had way more fun the night before at Justin Martin.
Did you? Okay.
Way more fun. Also, it's because that is like my crowd, right? Like every time I turned,
the Justin Martin crowd?
Yeah, every time I turned around, it's just like I saw someone who I want to like run up to and hug.
Got it.
The Gordo crowd, Carnage crowd, not to say it was a lit crowd.
Because people were expecting Carnage.
It's which totally is different. Why I was telling someone I think it's great because that's great for that scene is bringing all these people who are expecting one thing, and then they get introduced to like this new thing that they weren't expecting, and they still had a great fucking time. And all of a sudden they're like, wow, I really love fucking house music. Shout out fucking the Lotus Boys. Okay, Cody.
He loves y'all.
Yeah, okay, but he's the last person, or actually, maybe not because Carnage, but He was like, I threw him on the guest list, him and his girl, and he came in and he was having a fucking grand old time.
Did he?
And it's all house music. And every time I'm with them, I play house music in the whip and all that stuff. And they're like, Souz, like, what is this trash? You know, like.
See, and I really like them. I really
Oh, they're
like
great.
them as
Yeah.
I like them as people. I'm just not like a big room. You know
That's
that.
not my vibe either.
I'm not
And
a big
I'm
room
so
person.
straight up with them too about that. I'm like, you guys like, but they put out like dope music, and the music they produce is like I really actually like vibe with, and I tell them that. I'm like, you guys aren't my like normal vibe. Like, I don't really listen to like this shit, but like, I actually really like your stuff. But it was funny, like when they were like, Cody and his girl were like vibing to house music.
You're
and I was
like,
like,
oh,
yeah, I see you. Yeah.
This was at Carnage?
Yeah. Yep.
See, and it was so funny because I'm in like a giant group text giant group message with a bunch of people that were like all about Justin Martin, who I personally didn't have a good experience with Justin Martin at, where was it? It was PY1 nights in Dallas. So I was like, I'm not going to like expend my energy.
Yeah.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That was my experience. I'm sure and people were like, Clarissa, he's great. I'm like, cool.
Well, that happens to me all the time. I have like,
if you have, that just goes to show that's like everyone in the concert and the music experience. If you have a bad experience with an artist, you're probably not going to go back and see that person.
Not even a bad experience, but you probably just didn't vibe with them. It was probably just like,
I didn't vibe with him at
I
the
didn't
time.
love it. So like, I can either stay home and get a bunch of work done, or I can buy a ticket for this guy who I didn't really have a lot of fun at last time. Like, that's an easy choice, you know? So like 100%. I guess
who's someone
that,
because you've seen a lot of people, who is someone that's like surprised you that you're like, damn, that's not what I was expecting?
In a good way or a bad way?
Both. Let's do both. Let's do a good way, and then I'll think of mine.
So I smoked too much weed to have that good of a memory. But I mean, last night was like, he surprised me. I mean, yeah, maybe he did show up in a limo, and that said that I pulled up and I was like, wow,
Did he show up in a
he had a
limo?
limo. Yeah.
Gordo?
Yeah. But he
Was
also
that,
has
like,
like
on
a big
his
crew
rider?
of people. No, I didn't see his rider. But he also had like a big crew of people, so it's like at the sit like, all right,
He has a
whatever.
San Antonio, like he has like an Austin crew for sure.
No, but like he had like
just
he has
people
a
that
tour manager, he has a photographer, videographer who I met was cool. I think his name was Shane. He's friends with Alexis. I met him. He was really cool.
He's got a good videographer. I've watched his stuff. Like,
Yeah.
really good.
I think that's him. Yeah.
He's really good.
And so he had he has like a crew, right? And whatever. So
I didn't know
you
that.
get a limo, whatever. Like it kind of put a sour taste in my mouth when I pulled up.
Did
like,
it?
Because it's just weird. I've never like in all my years of shooting like real music shows, I've never or just literally any shows in Austin, I've never seen an artist show up in a limo, right? Like, and this was a stretch Escalade also. Like, it was not just like a limo. It was like a fucking baller ass limo. Like,
Wow.
So good for him. But like, my first thought was like the stories I've heard a story of him in the past of him like freaking out at like exotic car rental dude because he didn't get like, I don't want to put words in somebody else's. It was like the wrong color Lambo, or like he couldn't get a Lambo or something. It was something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
And
That happened to Afrojack. So that happened to,
oh no, that was okay. So
that
you're
two
totally
different-
wrong. No, that was Afrojack. I'm totally wrong. That was Afrojack, not Carnage.
Yeah, Afrojack freaked out.
That was
on-
Afrojack, not
Yeah.
Carnage. I'm
So
sorry. I'm sorry, Gordo.
Afrojack freaked out.
That's what that was. Yes.
Because he couldn't get a neon green Lamborghini.
That's exactly what it was. And so, but for whatever reason,
Afrojack.
yeah, for whatever
Afrojack
reason,
used to fuck when it was like that era.
whatever reason, that was in my head as him. And even though I was wrong, I still had that in my head. I'm like, of course you fucking showed up in a
Interesting.
limo.
Ah.
But
that's
so,
like that,
yeah,
like, era.
yeah, exactly. But then I went inside and he played house music, and I was like, and I'll give it to him. Yeah, he totally surprised me. So, but
Yeah,
that's
when
like
you said
most
that, I
recent.
wanted to, because he's like the only person to ever be banned from Ultra. He does
Yeah,
not have a
that's
good
the other
experience.
thing. Yeah,
He has a
He doesn't
really
have a
bad
good reputation.
However, I appreciate this whole like spin, and I'm glad that like
Yeah.
other artists are starting to do that. I love it. I
Yeah,
absolutely love
me
it.
too. He doesn't have any. I think he has like one actual like song out under Gordo, or whatever it is.
He's great.
But hey, if he keeps that going, like I think, fuck
it
yeah,
up.
like I'm here for it.
I
yeah.
love a good pivot.
Yeah.
He's the only one, and that's what I feel like is such a crazy thing right now. It's happening. That's what I was telling you. Like I was talking to Sasha Rabati about it. It's just this whole like your actual name using their actual. What do you think about that? Like using their actual DJ names Or do you think they should, like,
depends.
when Spencer Brown pulled that whole, like, hey, I'm playing techno.
But he
Seismic,
loves that shit.
But I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I wish I had known. I was like, had Spencer Brown had an alias that he'd been playing techno under,
into it expecting
I would
that.
have been boom. Like that's,
Yeah.
but when I saw Spencer Brown's name on the lineup, I was thinking
Spencer Brown music.
I was thinking deep house. Like,
and especially when somebody on the same lineup like Zoo is playing under an alias like that, when it's so clear that it's like, I was
very clearly on the other side for that.
No, I can see that.
Everyone talks about it.
It's tough for an artist though. Like if I was like, I would have no reason to have an alias or whatever, right? But like if I was an artist, I would probably, first of all, you feel the pressure not to like he was talking, Sasha was talking about you about like, I don't want to release this music under my name because people will get the wrong idea or people are used to this.
I think it's like Tech House, Dirty Bird.
I got the vibe that he wanted to keep his name and just put it under. But it's like usually what I find is like, and you can relate it to anything. Like, especially someone like me, like I'll go out and shoot a bunch of shows that like, yeah, I vibe with and I love all kinds of music. But like, there's always like that, like, niche of music that I'm gonna love way more than anything, right? But like with artists, it's like whatever they came up on, like, so I'll use this example, which is a great one. You've probably never heard of him, Five and a Dime.
Nope.
So Five and a Dime, the name is like a convenience store, but it's this DJ. Or another person, Cap Slap. Have you ever heard of Cap Slap? No. These are two guys who were huge on the East Coast in like Boston University, Boston College, like for doing like remixes, right? Like dope fucking mashups, and they put out full albums of like mashups and remixes, right? And they got known for doing that. But then it's like they start to post on like Instagram, or like I started to like going to a lot of their shows and like getting closer to them, and then you realize it's like they just fell into this and that's what they got famous on, but that's not like really what they love. Like they just had a couple songs blow up and then that's all they want. That's all anybody wanted to hear. But really someone like Five and a Dime, I forget what he really like. Cap Slap actually, I just realized that. So he got all of his shit like stolen. So he's just like, yeah, he just got back into music now. But someone like Five and a Dime, I'm not sure what he's up to now, but like both of these guys like blew up on like these remix mashup things, and both of them it's like they want to produce their own music, not like take other people's songs and mash them up. But it's like then they go out and do shows and nobody wants to hear their own music. They want to hear what they're famous for. So someone like Zoo, who is like, he's famous for whatever, but then maybe he really fucking enjoys playing techno music like that. Like when he's home alone, right? That's probably what he plays to have fun.
But he remixes his own songs and turns them into techno.
Probably.
That's where I think, like, so I literally was listening to a Blacklist set yesterday.
But is that because that's giving it the piece that everybody recognizes? Or is that because that's truly what he wants to do?
It's a bridge. I think it's both. Yeah. We're about to have, like, there's like a lineup of people that are coming, which I haven't even told you about. That we're about to have.
Haven't even told me about?
No, because you're about to leave me.
I'm gonna quit.
You're about to leave for 3 weeks.
She's probably got a new producer. She's probably got like a whole new studio.
Are you joking? You're joking right now. I'm so sad. That's another reason why I'm gonna like be able to watch this back and just like, so Steve's about to leave for 3 weeks. Like you're leaving. You're gonna be gone. Do you know how long? You know what? I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Might extend that.
You might.
I'm kidding. I'm not gonna extend it. Relax. Jeez, I was kidding.
Do I need to go find other people to help me?
I mean, you'll never find someone like that. I'm retweeting you. I'm coming back exactly when I said I'm gonna be back. Do not worry. The look of devastation. You know you're getting zoomed in on right now when I edit this. You know that's exactly what's happening.
If you're going to leave me.
Where am I going to leave to? We've already established the fact that LA sucks, and I'm not going there. I have nowhere else to go.
I don't want you to just be here by default. I want you to want to be here.
I want to be here by default, though.
I'm a typical girl. Like, I want you to want to be with.
I want you to want me. Who is that? I need you to need me.
I know this is gonna be like the best editing game of your life.
We can get into this. We can get into the whole who wins the music video offs.
Oh, me.
Me.
So, by the way,
me.
Quick little. Are you joking right now? Do not.
Me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Me.
Wow. Do not edit this out. I hope this is not going to edit out. If it does, I'm going to come on the record and like let everyone know. So
there's no proof.
When Steve first moved in, after I trapped him, we went on a bender for like 3 or 4 weeks.
A good month.
Probably like a solid month.
Yeah.
Of
a lot of wine.
I think it was mostly wine.
Mostly wine.
Yep. Like we would literally be racing to 7-Eleven to grab.
Well, we'd finish what we had and we'd realize like, fuck, we want to keep it going.
Like, hey, do you want like
just for a glass?
Do you want like just a glass of wine?
Yeah.
Or he'd be like, hey, do you want a glass of wine? Make sure.
What I love about you, I can talk shit to you, and like that, my best friends, I can talk so much shit to, and that's like the most endearing. Like to me, I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know that.
To me, I think
you talk shit to me, but I'm just like laughing off.
I think it's an East Coast thing, but like to me, it's like if I can talk shit to you and you can take it, and still at the end of the day, that you still talk just as much shit back to me, and that you can take it and you don't take it personally, like that means a lot, because like
I take nothing personal.
That form of like that's a lot. Like
I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, 100%.
You talk a lot of shit to me, so that means you really love me. Then
exactly. If I
talk a lot of shit.
Oh, and if you know like blackout Souz,
dumpster fire Souz.
We don't talk about that night. You know that I talk a lot of shit, and if I'm like cursing you out, it just means I love you. That's it. If I'm telling you to fuck off, it means I love you.
Really?
Yeah.
I've only seen you in that state though, like a couple of times. It hasn't been a lot of times.
Yeah.
When you're like, fuck off. I'm like,
literally, yeah, fuck off. Yeah. But just know, it's because I love you.
See, this I'm glad we're having this before you leave. Cause you're about to leave. Like, y'all, he's literally it's 1:11.
Yeah, my flight is in like 6 hours.
He's leaving.
I haven't packed
his
at all.
flight's at 7.
Yeah.
It's 1:11. I'm gonna do another podcast. You're about to get another lit podcast after this, so you're welcome. And
I'm gonna be packing while it's
he's
happening.
gonna be packing while I'm recording and talking to you drunkenly about something that's important to me. However, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up.
Okay.
Speaking of,
well, I think we should do this again.
Maybe.
See, this might be the last time that you'll see the Souz.
No, we'll do it again.
Are you promise?
I promise, yeah.
I feel like you need to do it more because I feel like
I need a microphone while we're recording
we'll
other
just
podcasts.
Get one because
yeah, I need a third microphone because there's a lot of times
you already have a microphone.
Yeah, but we
need
only
to get
have
one more.
two. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I'll get another one
because I only have. There's a lot of moments I do want to tune in and chime in and like ask
because you have like
very
like during Pink Star, like everything that you've had to like say has been like a monumental shift in like the energy.
I wouldn't say monumental.
I feel like it's been a very monumental shift.
But at the same time, it's like if I had a microphone, at least people could hear what I'm asking.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Especially,
Let's do it.
I'm looking out for y'all.
I am here for it. Yeah. I'm totally for that. So
okay.
What is coming up for you?
Don't ask
in
me
the future.
I have nothing coming up.
You say that, but like, well, you're about to leave. Are you gonna shoot Newport?
If you follow me, you're just gonna see me black the fuck out for like 3 weeks.
Black the fuck out. Are you gonna?
What?
Are you? Is that okay? Like, what are you gonna do with your friends? Like, what?
Be black the fuck out on like boats and shit. Boats and hoes, baby. No, I'm kidding. I hate the fact that I just fucking said that.
No, that's like the best thing you've said all.
I'm like deleting that off the
Don't
face of this.
delete that.
No, I won't. But no, I go out
It's a
on.
joke. Everyone knows. Like,
Newport Folk Fest. I'll be there for that.
Okay, so
you know, like all that shit.
I might be there.
Come, I got tickets for you.
I bet you.
Maybe see you in New York.
New York or
with McPee Poo Poo Pants. Shout out, no free shout outs.
You don't know, but I have not figured out what I'm doing for my birthday yet. However,
yeah, so that's the other thing. You and Brooke both. I've never been here for your y'all's birthday.
Yeah,
because it's just like the same. It's just July.
Mine's July 28th,
right?
So I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but like for me.
But that's my month that I go home to Rhode Island.
I'm either gonna be. I have like a really strong Vegas itch.
I don't blame you if you go to Vegas.
I have a very strong.
Just know Newport is great, but
I have a very strong Vegas itch.
But hey, the thing with Vegas is it's gonna be Vegas it's year round, right?
I haven't been to Vegas in like years.
Okay, when was the last time you went to Newport? AKA never. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
and I have like the hookups obviously there. And I could feel like that would be like a vibe.
It would be how many? Okay, so that's the other thing. How many guests have come on this fucking pod and be like, Newport Folk Fest in July? That's the best time I've ever had in my life, and that's the most amazing place I've ever fucking been to. How many? Probably, I'd say maybe like 1/3 or 1/4 of the people who have been on this podcast that have been dope enough to actually experience that.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, and that's like a testament to this podcast, right? That's a testament to the kind of guests we get on,
the
right?
guests that have been on have been like very quality people. So, all right. Well,
that's been the most epic fucking podcast.
Thank you for coming here.
Ever. For coming here, yeah.
Thank you for going really out of
coming
your way.
out of my dungeon, yeah.
Thank you for like really just stepping outside of your comfort zone and leaving your room to join the show.
I appreciate you having me.
It's been real.
Yeah, thanks.
This is you guys have seen, like, this is our normal interactions. We're gonna do more of these. I feel like we need to do more of these because it's just like you and me talking. Yeah. Interesting shit. We all do the same stuff. And
it's what we talk about behind the scenes anyway. So it's
but like, but what people don't see is that you give me like all the life and guy advice. It's so nice having like a outsider guy advice. I'm like, hey, what do guys think about this? Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
coming from the guy who has no idea when girls are even heading
but you're
on.
Just like,
that's
guys.
Probably great advice.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys. How can people find you? Where do you want people to find you? Follow you? All the good stuff.
The.Souz. That's it.
The.Souz.
Boom. Bang. Done.
The Souz. What's your website name?
SouzaMedia.com. SouzaMedia.com. There's nothing good on there, though. Just follow me on Instagram. Bye, everybody.
It's great stuff. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next week.